Hello and welcome to the Dandism Project. In this blog style series we're going to be focusing on this 1990 Toyota MR2 SW20. And its hopeful evolution from underpowered ugly duckling into beautiful fire-breathing swan. My name is James and this is not my first MR2 project. But I'm going to be trying some new stuff with this one, so hopefully we can learn a little bit together. Being Australia, it's about 4,000 degrees inside the car right now, so let's get on with it. Alrighty, so this MR2, as you may have noticed, is a little bit dirty. It's got some bird shit on it. Just be a short drive to the car wash. Got a very special car wash in mind, one that I think will do an extra good job of tidying this up.
Two very boring minutes later.
We're out! Now you may have noticed that something's a little different about this MR2. It does have a party piece, and that is to do with the engine. The engine that would normally be fitted to this Australian delivered 1990 SW20 second generation MR2 would be the 3SGE, which is a 2-litre twin cam non-turbo engine. Usually produces about 117 kilowatts at the flywheel, and you get about 100 of them to the road if you're lucky. This one sounds a bit different.
And the reason for that is simple. It has a 3-litre 3VZFE quad-cam V6 installed instead of the original engine. And as you may have noticed, this is not the first time I've had an MR2 with this engine in it either. I was able 6 years later to source another one quite cheaply, as the conversion is very common now with the engine easily available in V6 Toyota Camrys.
So, this MR2 has a T-bar roof, as you can see. Shade comes off. Roof comes off if I choose to. Because of that, the window sealing is... okay, let's just say when it comes out of the factory it might be alright, but it's not long after that that you start to experience water leaking in when it rains, particularly from right here, where the gap is between the seal on the T-bar roof and the sealers in the window. The other spot of the leak is the same spot at the back of the T-bar roof. I've experienced it before in an MR2 where it'll drip onto your seatbelt and actually soak the seatbelt, which then in turn will soak your clothing. The other thing it does is drip down from here onto the window controls. I've never had it cause a problem with the window controls, but that's sort of where it drips, or onto your knee. So I think the best way to stress test an MR2 is to take it through a car wash, and specifically a touchless car wash. It's going to be spraying high pressure jets of water at the car, and we'll see whether I needed to bring a snorkel or not. There we go. Now, from watching what I was doing with the other people that were in front of me, it won't be too dramatic to start with, but then it'll get exciting probably about 30 seconds to a minute in, so we'll see how we go. Okay, so far so good. Smells interesting. Kind of a chemicals and recycled water sort of smell. So it's a touchless car wash. It has to use a bit of a soap type effect in the initial rinse to try and get the dirt loosened up. So now I think rinse that off and then it'll hit me with the high pressure. Here we go. Oh God. I'm gonna hold my breath. I might drown. How long can you hold your breath for underwater? I think for the average person it's like 2 minutes. There we go. Luckily there aren't too many that spray directly into the Got a little bit wet then, wasn't too bad. Definitely some water over here. Still, that's pretty good. Like that's less wet than I've been in a torrential rain situation in some of my older MR2s. So let's see what happens when it comes back for another pass. Here we go. Point is, it doesn't really leak. It leaked a little bit in the corners. I can hear water swooshing around. It's just like a tiny fishbowl, but it didn't really leak. Nothing really. There's a tiny bit up here. It's damp there. Nothing dripped down from this corner where it usually does. Did get a fair bit in this corner, but dribbled down the back. But you can see some water sort of on this area on the window of the passenger side. A little bit there as well, but not too bad. I open this window straight away when it started to see how much water drips on me from the outside. Is this the other thing that it's noisy out there. I hope it's done. You're hoping it's not done, aren't you? Oh, it's coming back. It's coming back. Okay, it's done. There we go. Well, that's that. Didn't leak too badly. I have to say I'm surprised. It's not at all common for an MR2 of this vintage to be sealed up at least that well. There's a couple of drips in the passenger seat there. We've come down from the back of the T-top. But yeah, overall, pretty good. We'll do it again. It's only a little bit of water, you can wipe it up. It's not enough to, it's not causing a flood, it's not causing an issue for me, so that's how we do it, apparently. So, we'll use the next few minutes to tell you about some of the plans I've got. What I'm going to do, basically, is I'm going to close these windows. I've picked an interesting time of day for filming, judging by the light. Here's some things I'm going to learn whilst filming. But hey, let's hope you can hear me all right, so that'd be a good start. And I'll tell you about what I'm planning. It's basically going to be a case of doing the TLC stuff, fixing up the little things that need fixing, and getting it into a nice state, you know, like nicen it up. Fix up the suspension is problem number one. The front lower control arm on the passenger side, there's a bolt inside the chassis. It's a captive nut, sorry, that's that the lower control arm bolts onto, and that nut is loose, which is causing some very interesting effects when you're driving. And you hit a bump at sort of moderate to high speed, and I did this while driving at night. I had the headlights up, sort of you could steer straight ahead and you could watch the headlights going whoop, as you hit that bump, and the suspension reacted to it without any steering input. So it was basically creating its own steering there. It's like a severe case of bump steer, if you like. So that needs to be addressed. It's going to involve some welding and getting into some tricky location there. But I'm told it's possible. And certainly nothing's impossible if you've got enough expertise, which I don't, or friends, which I do. So we'll give that a shot. And the other thing, of course, is there is some body damage on the outside there. The driver door and the driver's front fender are both pretty badly dented up. Apparently a car ran into it and rubbed all down the side of it, and that caused a fair bit of crumbling. So that's going to be fixed up. We've already got a fender on the way to sort that out. And then a couple of the usual sort of cosmetic upgrades. I'm going to do the clear front corner indicators. I'm going to do the Gen 3 tail lights, which are the round ones rather than the square brick type ones that the early models come with. And yeah, fix up the interior, little bits and pieces like the cracked door handle cups and things like that. I'm going to sort all that out. The sill down here is a piece of it missing. Replace that. The steering wheel is fake. I don't know if you can see how much it bends when I do this. That's a fair bit of bending. I'm doing that while I'm driving. Not a great idea. So I don't think it is a genuine Momo race, as it says in the middle of it. I think it might be fake. So I'm going to do something about that. Then when I've got it sort of nicened up and everything sort of to a level I like it, there's two things are going to happen, two more major things. One is that I'm going to do some body work. That means body kits and respray and stuff like that. I'm hoping to do something a bit interesting with that. And the other is the engine, which is, as we've said before, it's a 3-litre V6. I feel that it would be better if it was a 3-litre turbocharged V6. So there's a project in mind for that as well. I'm definitely going to want to upgrade the brakes because I'd like to do some track work with the car, take it to a racetrack and drive it around as though I'm a race driver that knows what he's doing. And I know from experience that the stock non-turbo brakes, you can destroy those completely. Ask me how I know. So they'll want to be upgraded before I try and do that kind of business. So that's something I'm definitely going to do. So stay tuned and we'll get to see all this and more. I'm James. See you later.